We are out here. It's inclement weather. We are fishing for catfish, bass, whatever we can get. It's my son over there. Ghost Rider, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Figured I'd take this time to talk about knife sheaths. Now, a lot of people like to go on blade forums and they'll read reviews or they'll watch reviews on YouTube, and you can get some pretty good information off of those resources. But from personal experience, a lot of times people overlook the sheath and the importance of it. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about today, is why a good knife sheath is important and where you can get one. Now, I have here 3 different knives, and of course I have my Apocalypse shovel, and these all have a different sheath. Okay, this is a Ontario 498 Marine Combat knife. Comes with a leather sheath. My experience with leather sheaths like this is that the minute you go in the water with them, they're pretty much done. They don't last very long. On the Ontario OKC 3S Marine Corps bayonet current issue, they upgraded the sheath, but the problem is if you're wearing any kind of gear and you have that on your belt, like let's say you got saw drum pouches or canteen pouches, those pouches will go right across the top of where that bayonet is at, and it makes it hard to draw. Or people will wear them on their vest, and the bottom part there will stick up really high, or that handle will stick up high. It takes up a lot of room on your plate carrier or your vest. That's kind of why I like this third option here. Now, the company that makes this, they do make other kinds of sheaths, but they specialize in Kydex. So you can get a sheath kind of like these, where maybe it just goes on a belt, or maybe it just goes on like a plate carrier, or maybe you want it scout style. But what I chose was a dangler. My son wanted a dangler, and I agreed to go ahead and get him one. And the reason being is that when you wear a dangler, let me take this off right here. See, the belt goes through here. All right, now you have the top of this below belt level. So your pouches that like to hang out off the side of your plate carriers and that are going to go across the top of this, and you can move this out of the way to draw it. You can tie this down to your leg and it will move with you. It's not just going to flop back and forth. This thing it just makes it a lot more accessible, especially when you're on the move. Let's see if I can get this to hang back up here. Actually, I'm just going to keep this down. Before I forget, nylon sheaths, they are not free from error either. As you can see on this one of the little eyelets or whatever you call them is coming out. That's a common problem I find in nylon sheaths. So you can make these sheaths last if you take care of them, but they're not optimal. What is optimal is to go ahead and get a custom Kydex sheath. Now, in martial arts, one of the things I get to learn is cane fighting. And the other day I was talking to my jiu-jitsu instructor. I study Hapkido and jiu-jitsu, and he said, does the cane protect you, or do you protect the cane? And that's a very valid question to ask. Does the knife protect you, or do you protect the knife? It's kind of a bit of both, okay? You should take care of your gear. If you want your knife to last and be there when you need it, you should get a good sheath for it. Don't just pay attention to the quality of the knife. Look at what kind of sheath you're getting. Make the investment to get a good sheath to take care of this knife, so that this knife is around when you need it. Because outside of your wits, when you're in a place like this, your knife is your most important tool. So you want to take care of it. I can take this and throw it in the water, pull it out, clean the knife off, maybe put some kind of oil on there, and it'll be fine. If I do that with some of these other sheaths, it's not going to go so well. Or if I want to take these and go out into the wilderness here with a lot of gear on, they're not going to be as easily accessible on my gear as something like this. Now, this sheath was made by Armor Sheaths. You can go to www.armorsheaths.com. The guy has all kinds of sheaths there. You can order them. He's got them for K-bars, for Ontario knives. He's got some for Tops knives. think he's got some for fall and even knives. And then, of course, you can get a custom one made. And he also does all kinds of colors and camouflage patterns. This right here, as I mentioned before, is my son's knife. It has custom Brazilian ironwood handle scales on it, and it is left-handed. And of course, the ferro rod here holds a 1.5 by 6 inch fire steel. When I talked to him when I was ordering this, he made the point to ask me what kind of handle scales were on it. And so I told him, and he said, okay, well, you're going to have to mail me the knife, because when you get custom scales, the tolerances and all that are different on them. They're not all the same. And so he can't just make one off of the knife that he has there. He has to have it so he can tailor the sheath towards the knife. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that he knew to do that so that it would get the best fit possible. So if you buy from that company, you're getting a quality product from somebody who knows what they're doing. Also, something I've noticed, I've looked around at a lot of Kydex sheaths, and I have not seen this particular type of, I don't know if you want to call that a thumb ramp. I haven't seen that on them, and that thing is very comfortable, and it makes it really easy to draw that knife and have control the whole time. This thing hooks nice and solid. It does not rattle at all. Anything you're hearing on here, that's me bonking that on accident. Let me get a better grip on it. So you can see that that's not making any noise. It is not going to come out if I try to just toss it out like this. I'm a pretty strong dude. I bench press over 300 pounds, and it's not coming out. So it's in there, but when you need it, doesn't take a whole lot. So whatever the physics is behind this right here, very cool. This is one well-engineered sheath. So if you're looking for a custom Kydex sheath, I would go with Armor Sheaths. To me, that's the optimal choice. And as you can see, I do have experience with knives. I do come out in the wilderness quite a bit. We fish. We fish in the rain. So our gear has to be able to keep up with us. If you want your gear to be able to keep up with you, and if you want it to last, if you're planning on having something that's heirloom quality to pass on, I would definitely go with a custom Kydex sheath for your knives, and I would definitely go with Armor Sheaths. It's good stuff. All right, well, thank you very much for tuning in. Please feel free to subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. And as always, Semper Fi and God bless.